Mile High Club. What's up?
Here goes.
What up, hoes? It's your girl Rosey from the Mile High Club, as you know, as I've been here for the past 3 seasons. Oh my God. 3 seasons. Jesus Christ. But welcome to a brand new episode of the motherfucking Mile High Club. I'm here with the gracious and beautiful voice of reason, Miss Dora.
Hello, everyone.
This bitch said pageantry. Okay. I said beautiful and gracious. She said, yeah, damn right.
Miss America right here.
Miss America, Miss Samoa, and Mexico.
Thanks.
Representing all the countries today because I am America over here. But if you missed our last episode, don't forget to check it out on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on all of our streaming platforms, wherever they are, whatever they may be. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the voice of reason.
We don't have any current events that were like too important for us to talk about, since we do kind of record a little ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just do a check-in. How have we been? How's the weather been like? Because that's like the only thing that I have to talk about. But
on some real shit, like that rain. That rain is scary. Like,
yes. Oh yeah, you almost died on like New Year's Eve.
No, literally, I almost fucking died because I couldn't see fucking shit. Like, I could not see a goddamn thing in that rain. And okay, so there was a car behind me too. Like, I think I told you, like, it had its headlights off, and I totally understood. Like, oh, I didn't tell you that.
Off? Why would it be off?
So like their headlights were off, and I totally get why they had them off. But the problem is that I can't see what you're doing, my guy, you know? Like, he had it off because all of us had our lights on, you know? Like, all the cars had our headlights on. So like it was reflecting off of the water. So it was like kind of glaring, and it was a little hard to see like with the lights on. Yeah. So I totally understood why he had the lights off. But then I'm like, well, bro, like, I can't see you now. So.
Yeah.
So it was a little difficult. But also, like, dude, the Bay Area is fucking flooded.
I know. I text our sis, Lucia.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I was just like, oh, sis, like, thinking of you, like, stay safe and stay home. Like, because it's supposed to be flooded. They were like, what? Like, state of an emergency, like, bomb, cyclone, rain thing. I was like, what a name. I need to text my family in the Bay because that's scary.
That's a fucking name. To make you stay home, that's a fucking name.
Bomb cyclone. Not like, oh, like winter storm cyclone.
Yes.
It's the name. Yeah, that's just so ridiculous.
Like, who named it Bomb? Out of curiosity, like, who named it Bomb?
Governor Gavin Newsom.
All right,
nobody likes.
I like you, but buddy, you should probably get it together.
I mean, he didn't really name it, but you know, they're gonna blame it on him.
They're gonna blame it on him, like they blame 9/11 on Obama. You know,
like Bush. They blame it on George Bush, not Obama.
Oh, girl, sometimes they blame. Like, have you heard those like memes? It's like, oh, like, where was Obama during 9/11?
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are just like idiots. That's why.
But yeah, the rain is scary. I saw what Stockton looked like. I saw what SF looked like. Like, girl, hell no.
Did you see the photos of people like surfing in like San Francisco in the streets?
No.
That's disgusting, people.
No, that's really gross. That's really fucking nasty.
Like, that's dirty water. It's not ocean water like coming in the city.
It's brown, y'all.
I just don't understand. I mean, mind you, you know what race they were, but yeah, so let's just think people before you go surfing in that water.
You always know what race they are when you get real quiet. And you just tilt your head like,
you know what we're talking about.
But no, yeah, dude, like, they do that shit. Like, they did that shit in New York. They did that shit in Texas. They did that shit in Louisiana. Like, I feel like that particular group of people, they just don't understand boundaries. Like, this is why they smell. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because, like, you know, like, immigrant parents are like, don't walk around the house barefoot because you're gonna get sick, and don't do X, Y, and Z because you're gonna get sick. Like, it could be the simplest thing. Mm-hmm. Like, their parents aren't telling them that. That's why.
No, yeah, their parents also aren't telling them how to use soap.
Yeah, like, the other day I was coming home from work and I saw these two, you know what race they were, jumping on the trampoline when it was pouring rain outside their house, and I'm like, they're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna send their kids to school sick, and then they're gonna get all the other kids sick, and then the brown people can't afford healthcare, so they're gonna get sick too. There's just a trickle down effect.
There's a trickle down effect of you privileged ass little people we're not going to say.
So don't get sick, guys, is basically the moral of the story.
Do your best to stay home. Even though a lot of us don't have the luxury of staying home, do your best to try to. Yep. If you have some vacation days coming up and you know everybody at work is sick, then just fucking take some vacation days off. Honestly. And just work from home, or just talk to your boss about working from home. Obviously, you might not get anywhere with that, but fuck it.
Yeah, but the rain and like the cloudy skies, it just like makes me depressed, you know? Not like actual depression, but it's just like you don't want to do anything. You don't want to leave your house. I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is so cozy, because it's like freezing in my house.
Oh, yeah, same.
I'm like, turn up the heater. I need the heater by my body 24/7. I can't survive in this. And then it just like the sun just came out today and I was like, this is the best day of my life. Yeah. I can do everything. Oh, yeah. What am I going to do this weekend? I mean, nothing. I'm working, but you know.
No, yeah. So funny enough, like yesterday, actually pretty much all this week, it's been an easy drive home because I think people are trying not to go on the freeways. But today, as soon as the sun comes out, everybody want to be back on the motherfucking freeway again. Yep. And I'm just like, great. Now I got to sit an hour in traffic like I used to. It was only taking me like 30 minutes to get home from Beverly Hills all the way to this place.
A location that cannot be disclosed.
A location that you guys just don't know about. But but yeah, man, like today was the first time this entire week I had to take a fucking hour to get home. Yeah. I was so irritated, but it's fine, you know. I am happy that the sun's out, but at the same time I'm just like, why, bitch, why?
Well, we want the sun out, but everybody else to stay home.
Yeah. But yeah, other than the weather, like that's nothing interesting has happened this week. Actually, interesting stuff has happened this week, but I just can't talk about it on camera because it's not my business to talk about on camera, but I'm totally going to talk about it off camera. Like, I know I told you guys that we're going to do dumpster fire segment, and trust me, this is a big ass dumpster fire, but I have a different dumpster fire to give you guys. So this one's a little bit more juicy because it involves me being a fucking idiot. So yeah.
All right, well, before we get into that, I'll wrap this intro up and we'll be heading off to our first music break. This is Mood Swings by One Take Ocho, Boy, and Dungeon Music. Shout out to our people out there. You've been on my mind. Spending time with you, I pass by the time. Look at we created, did it all by design. No, it ain't no question, girl, I know that you're mine. You be having mood swings, you be having change ups. Baby, take a few swings, gotta keep your head. Flame on! Welcome back, it's the motherfucking Mile High Club. Ooh, ooh. And that was Mood Swings by One Take Ocho, Boy, and Dungeon Music. And we'll be heading off to our new segment, Flame Out with Rosey.
Our dumpster fire segment. All right, so.
I know y'all are waiting for this.
So, this time around, I do have an update for Pickle and Jar. They irritated the fuck out of me. But I'll probably have a better update for you guys at the end of the month. That way I have a collective stream of thoughts.
We just want to gather evidence and details. Yeah.
Yes. And I will give that to you guys next month's first episode. That way you guys have all the tea and everybody's all caught up. But anyways, today we're going to be jumping into a story that Dora does not approve of.
I didn't. Yeah. I didn't know it was happening at the time.
You didn't. I didn't tell anybody
this
it was
like
happening.
During our break, guys.
It was.
I didn't see her.
This was really
we're
bad.
friends outside of the show, but we just didn't see each other for like 2 months.
Yeah, 2-3 months. Yeah. But like, this is a very, very long story we're going to get into. So if you don't have the time for it, please just skip all the way to Dora's segment because this is going to be long. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So this has something, we're going to name this person D'Angelo.
No, like the people want an inanimate.
You're right. Y'all like Pickle and Jar for some reason. So
you need something that goes together with.
We're going to call him Cactus. So should I call him Cactus? What should I call him? Not Banana.
Yeah, you can do Cactus because he's a prick.
That was a good one.
Sorry if you're watching this, but if
you are watching this, you should have known this was fucking coming.
And I'm surprised you're watching this.
No, yeah, I'm surprised you're watching this. Ain't you supposed to be engaged? Worried about that? I'm just kidding. Why are you watching my show? But I'll get into it, y'all. Okay, so about this kid Cactus, all right? Starting from the beginning, I met him in high school, and we like were
just
friends.
Narrows it down for so many people.
I know, but like, okay, so in high school, funny enough, I was like not that kind of girl, you know, like I did not have that many guy friends. I was barely like around guys. I only ever stuck with like my girlfriends in high school. And I just because like I was so awkward and shy, insert picture of me in high school.
The throwback.
Yeah, I was so awkward in high school, and I just like totally did not understand boys or like liking boys or feelings or anything like that. I literally thought you held hands with a dude, that's your man, you know? Like I didn't understand.
In high school?
In high school, bitch.
Oh my gosh, maybe my middle school's advanced then.
Oh no,
I feel like I learned everything in middle school.
Girl, like I went to a small ass middle school too, so like.
Oh, and you did go to school in Utah for a cool minute. So.
I did, yeah. So
Don't
even
worry.
yeah, you know the
that
Mormons.
makes a lot of sense.
You Mormons out there, y'all move a little different, but yeah. But yeah, so like in middle school, I mean, I knew who like was boyfriend and girlfriend because obviously they're all just around each other and whatever. But I thought like even if you were holding hands with a boy, like that was your boyfriend or whatever. And like if you kiss a boy, like extremely that's your boyfriend, you know? So in high school, I kind of just carried that mentality. I didn't know that people were just fucking around in high school, you know what I mean? So there was I was innocent as fuck.
Pure and holy.
Minus the holy, but pure as hell. I was so innocent and naive in high school, but I did meet this kid in high school and like I'm not gonna say which grade it was. I think I already did. I don't know, but I always thought he was like super cute. You know, like I thought he was like a really cool kid. Like I thought he was really attractive. High school him is very different than how he is now. You know, so it's like it's a lot, but. In high school, again, I thought he was really cute, but we were just friends, you know, like we were only friends, but like I started developing like a friendship with him. Like, and I didn't expect that because I've never been friends with an attractive boy. I ended up moving to Utah. I came back from my senior year and he switched schools. He now started going to the school that I started going to because I didn't go to that original first school. I went to a different school in high school. Or in my senior year. And so he went to that school instead. And we became closer that way.
Maybe he was your stalker and you just don't know it.
No.
We just want a murder mystery here. But not the murder part, like the mystery part.
Oh, no. Yeah, dude. You know how much... Okay, I'll get to it after.
Yeah.
But yeah. So... I remember on my first day of school, I did not know anything about this fucking campus because it's brand new to me. So I was like, what the fuck? So I found where my class was and he was the first person that saw me and he turned around and he was just like, well, he said my real name. But
real name?
He was like, real name? And I was just like,
if y'all don't know, Rosey is not her real name.
But y'all will never know my real name.
Well, everybody that we know personally, I just be telling them.
No,
like,
yeah.
Oh, her real name is this, so I really can't call her stage name because I just won't stick
it's
in
hard.
my head.
It's
anyways.
Yeah, no, for a lot of my friends, like my actual like close friends like us, like they will not call me Rosey, but like everybody else, you will only know me as Rosey. But anyways, yeah, he was like, real name? And I was like, huh? I was like, hey. And he was like, what the fuck? And I just ran away because like that was the first time I saw him in like two years almost. And so I was just like, oh, he's still cute. Like, so he had a girlfriend at the beginning of the year. They broke up. He started talking to this other girl. When I realized like he had a girlfriend at the beginning of the year and I knew what she looked like. And when I saw the girl that he was talking to, I was like, oh, so you just have a thing for Latinas. Like, I mean, granted, he's Latino himself, but I was like, oh, so you just like dating Latinas, like totally cool, like that's your type, whatever. So I didn't even bother saying anything in high school. I was just like, man, whatever, like I'm not his type. Also, I was very, very insecure. I was a very big girl, but in high school I felt super big. So I also thought like, well, there's no way like you would like a fucking big girl, you know? Like then in 2015 I started like coming out of like my innocence a lot more, you know? Like I started like dressing a little different. I started like wearing my hair different. I started wearing makeup like at that point, and I just like started becoming the person that slowly led to who I am now. But at that point still like I was still very tame, but I was definitely showing a lot more confidence because I definitely came into myself in 2015 for sure. But he noticed it too. And this is a conversation that we ended up having a while ago, but I mean, not a while ago. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I started coming out of my shell a lot more. I started showing a lot more confidence in myself, and I started showing a lot more like just assurance of who I was. And I just started having a lot more fun, especially on Snapchat. My Snapchat days were fucking lit. If you remember my Snapchat days, which is none of you because all of my old friends I don't talk to anymore.
Except for me.
Except for Dora.
Oh, I wasn't on your Snapchat, but I did hear about them through our other friends.
Yes. Shout out to Lucia, who always told Dora the tea. On Snapchat, I just would post like twerking videos and like, you know, just like me having fun, you know, like, and I never used to do that shit.
That's what Snapchat's for. Though.
Oh,
especially then. Yes.
Oh, at the time? Hell yeah. That's what Snapchat was for. So he took notice and we were friends on Snapchat. So, I don't know what happened, but we just like started talking like, and we started reconnecting like our friendship together because he told me a story about how he like missed like how close everybody was in high school. And, you know, he had like a lot of like a little bit of regret, like with certain friendships of his and everything. And he was like, yeah, like I've always like, you know, appreciated our friendship together, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We became close again, and we started being those two like little high school friends who would like just get into debates all the time, all over again. Fast forward to 2016, right? I'm like a full-blown whore at this point. Like, I know nobody likes it when I call myself a whore, but that's like the best thing that's the best way I can describe that period of my life. Cause I was out here. Like, I was just taking it. Like, and again, super innocent bitch. Like I never knew what sex would be like until I actually had it when I was 19. And once I had it, I didn't want to stop. Me and him are like good at this point, you know, like we're really good friends and we're like kind of close, but like I noticed that through the time period of 2016, we started flirting a little bit. Mind you, he still has a girlfriend. And so we started flirting a little bit. And it was like harmless flirting. Like it was more like, oh, like you look real good. Like, or like, you know, like, damn, like, okay, like just throw it back then. Like, you know, cause again, I was twerking all over the place, but all this, like, you know, just harmless shit like that. I'm just like, oh yeah, like that's normal. Totally fucking not normal. But I also convinced myself like, no, you know, like that little, no, he's not doing that. Like that little delusion. But yeah. But then there was one night in 2016, I was drunk at a party. He was drunk at a bar. And I saw that he posted, he was at the bar. And it's a bar in downtown Fullerton that I frequented a lot at that time period. So I messaged him and I was just like, oh, TFTI, like for like, what the fuck? Like, I love that bar. And then he was just like, oh, it's probably better you're not here. And I was like, well, that's fucked up. Like, yeah. Why? I was like, why? That's rude as shit. And then he was just like, nah, like probably like just wouldn't be a good idea like to have us like alone together. And I was like, well, we wouldn't be alone. Like your friends are with you. Like obviously we wouldn't be alone. He was just like, nah, I'd try to get you alone. And I was just like, is this where it's going? I think it's going. Like, so we started like talking a little bit more and I was just like, okay. So, and yes, mind you, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I am drunk at this point, but I know what I'm doing. And I know you guys are calling me a fucking whore and like a fucking homewrecker and shit. And it's fine. I get it. I totally understand, you know? But at the time I was just like, again, I was just like 20 years old and I knew what I wanted. And I just wanted
I mean, you're young.
Yeah. I was like, I knew what I wanted. And I just wanted him. And I was just like, well, that particular night, I definitely wanted him because I've always liked him. I've always like thought he was cute. I've always like been attracted to him. So I was kind of like, well, why can't I have him?
Yeah.
So I went along with it and it eventually led to more than just flirting, obviously. And then at a certain point we stopped because we both ended up going to bed. So like we did not meet up. We did not have sex. Nothing happened. The next morning, I did send him some things, some pictures of I sent him pictures.
Photography pics.
Yeah, I sent him pictures of like beautiful photography. You know, just some Mona Lisa type shit. Yeah. Some Greek mythology type sculptures. Okay. I sent him that. And then the next morning I woke up and I was just like, hey, like, I feel like we should talk, you know, because again, he still has a girlfriend at this point. So I was like, I feel like we should talk. And he was like, well, nothing happened. So nothing happened. Mm-hmm. And like, I took that very personally because I was just like, oh, okay. So like, I'm like not worth talking about. Like, I'm not worth talking to about this. I'm like, clearly like I was like, I get it. I do. But like, fuck, dude. Like,
yeah.
I felt like basically he was calling me nothing. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, well, that's fucked up. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, all right. Mm-hmm. And then he just did not talk to me again. And I was just like so hurt and so heartbroken. Because again, this is a guy that like I've always been attracted to and always had feelings for. And at the time, again, I'm not thinking about his girlfriend. Like, I'm not thinking about anything. Like, I'm just thinking about how I feel. So, of course, I know you guys are just like, well, yeah, bitch, that's what you get. Yeah, of course, that's what the fuck I got. Like, I dealt with it. But yeah. So we didn't talk for like 2 years. I blocked him on everything. I removed him on everything. I just did not want to see him. The unfortunate part is that we have a mutual friend. And that kind of like led to me having to see him 2 years later. Now, funny enough, during that 2-year break, I ended up fucking my first kiss, which was his best friend. Listen, it was out of spite, okay? It actually was just because I was like, I need a fuck buddy. Like, I need to fuck somebody and I'm choosing you. And then it became out of spite because I was just like, I enjoy the fact that you are his best friend. And I know for a fact you're going to go and tell him eventually. So I hope he figures it out. So basically, I was just like, I hope he fucking finds out. I hope he finds out about this shit because I wanted him to fucking feel it. And it's 2018 now. I'm in a whole other relationship and I moved on. I was fine. You know, like I didn't really think about him at all. I was too busy getting my heart broken by other motherfuckers. And I now am in a full blown relationship with somebody else. My friend has a graduation party and I knew that Cactus was going to be there. So I show up, say hi to everybody. And then I see him. I don't care what he says. He was being petty as shit this day. So we are standing at like one of those bar top tables, you know, like the little circular ones. Yeah, there's the high top table. And we're standing, me and like 4 other girls are standing around this table and he knows the other girls. And when he comes in, he says hi to all 3 other girls and he just did not say hi to me. And I literally was just like, what the fuck was that? Like, I didn't say anything to him, but I was just like, I was like, you knew that there was one other person at this table. I was like, regardless of if you knew me or not, the fact that you didn't even bother looking at me and you didn't bother like even saying anything to me tells me that you knew that it was me and you just did not care to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Fine. Fuck you too. I guess like being cordial's out the fucking window. I guess we're just not going to talk to each other and it is what it is, you know? Then his best friend that I fucked shows up and that guy had a girlfriend. Like at that point, he had a girlfriend at that point. So he shows up with his girlfriend. I say hi to him because me and him are still cool. We're not close at all. We are not close at all. Just remember that, okay? But we're still like, we're cool.
Cordial.
We're cordial. We do not talk to each other. We are not friends, okay, guys? Yeah. We just
acquaintances.
We are acquaintances. We do share the same birthday though, but we are acquaintances. And anyways, he had a girlfriend at the time. They show up together. I meet his girlfriend, really sweet girl. They go off to go say hi to Cactus. I move around now. Like, I mean, like 10, 15 minutes have passed and I'm moving around now to go get food and shit. I go get some food. I come back, turn around, and I see fucking Cactus now walking towards me. And I was just like, oh God, here we go. Yeah. Like, I was dun, dun. Yeah, I was just like, what happened to ignoring me, bitch? Like, so he comes up to me and then he goes, oh, I didn't even see you. And I was like, fuck you. Yes, you did.
Liar.
Liar. But yeah, so he gives me a hug and he was just like, how are you? And I was like, good. And then I just slowly inch away. I could just feel it at that point. Like, you know, like I felt all the tension I felt when he would look at me. Like I just felt it so much, you know? So I was just like, I don't like this, you know? I was like, I'm a grown ass fucking woman. Like I should not be feeling like this. So you know what? I'm going to address this shit and I'm going to be over it. So I told my boyfriend at the time what was going on. I was just like, yeah, like there was this guy there. Like I told him everything. And he was like, well, I mean, if you feel like you need to like message him or talk to him about it, then fine. Like whatever, go ahead. And I was like, all right, cool. I will give that to my ex. Like I will give that understanding part of him. I will totally give that to him because I don't know no motherfucking boy right now that'll be like, what the fuck do you need to talk to him for? You know, like,
oh yeah, I mean,
but yeah, like my ex was like super understanding. He was just like, I mean, yeah, if you feel like you need closure or whatever, like go for it. He's probably cheating on me. That's
I mean, if it's the one I'm thinking about, then probably at that point, yeah.
The one who looked like a little.
Oh yeah, the one.
The Oompa Loompa.
Oh yeah. I mean, nobody likes him anyway, so.
No, yeah, nobody likes him anyway.
I don't even think his friends like him, from what I've heard.
I know. I don't think y'all like him, honestly. But anyways, so the next day I messaged him I messaged Cactus this long ass fucking message, basically talking about how like, hey, I didn't like how I felt yesterday when I saw you. I didn't like how I felt like there was tension, and I feel like you owe me a conversation from 2016 about what happened between us. And I was like, I understand if you don't want to talk about it, and if you just want to move on from it, that's fine. But I don't think I could ever like talk to you again.
Yeah.
Like if that's the deal. He apologized for it. He apologized for how he handled everything. We squash it at this point and we're good. But I don't go back to being friends with him at that point, you know? I don't go back to being friends with him because I was just like, I just wanted to clear the air, cut the tension, and just feel a little bit better, you know, about that situation. So I got my closure and I moved on. I ended up getting cheated on by my boyfriend, like I said. Like I did not talk to Cactus from 2018 all the way to about 2021. 2021 comes along. I invite him to a function, and it's a specific function, obviously. But he brought me a gift at this function, and I did not let go of that gift. And I'm
like, what function? Now I know which one. I'm like, oh yeah.
I did not let go of that gift because drunk me was literally just like, oh my God. And it's because like that gift made me feel really special. Granted, I was drunk. Like I ended up throwing up like 3 times that night.
Yeah, I thought somebody else gave you those.
No, yeah, it was him. It was Cactus.
I thought I brought those. I'm just kidding.
Sis, if you did, I also still would have never let them go because they made me feel so special. But it also like, I don't know. It felt like different coming from him. And I know he only did it as like a term of like endearment, like, oh, friendship. Like he told me to, he was either this or a bottle. And I was just like, no, like, I'm really happy you got me this because I really wanted someone to get me this. I just felt very special because they were from him, you know, like, and then those feelings like started like, they just came up that night, just the one night.
I'm just saying that gift did not look friendly. That looked like it put in some time and effort.
It did.
Thought into that gift.
But at the same time, I was just like, you know, they do like prearranged ones at like Ralph's. The feelings came back for the one night and then they went away immediately after, you know, because I remembered what it was. And, you know, I remembered what happened between us in 2016. And I was like, I'm not doing this shit again.
Yeah.
So then 2022 comes along and there was a night.
It doesn't exist. Once you break that, once you cross that line, it's just done.
You're 100% right. Cause there's not a single friend that I've ever had sex with, like actually had sex with. And I'm still like good friends with them.
You can try and like go back, but there's something there.
No. Yeah. There's something there. Like I get drunk at a bar one night and I post that I'm drunk at a bar and where we are in our friendship, this isn't totally out of character for him, but at the same time, I was just like, it's a little out of character for like any friend, but like not any friend, but like close best friends, like totally can see this happening. But anyways, I posted I'm drunk in a bar. He replies to the post and he's just like, oh, like, please don't tell me you're driving. And I was just like, I guess I'm not telling you that then. And then he was like, no, for real, like, don't drink and drive. Like, you seem pretty fucked up. And I was just like, man, like, you're not going to know. How would you know? How would you know if I drive home?
We don't condone drinking or driving.
Don't drink and drive, y'all. Please don't. Like, it's really stupid.
Don't do it.
Like, I was just being stupid.
Yeah.
I really was. But yeah, and he was like,
drunk.
I was drunk.
Yeah, you're arguing with it.
I'm just arguing. That's what we do. But I told him, I was just like, no, like, I'm not, like, you can't tell me what to do. And he was like, no, like, I'll buy your Uber. Like, I'll send an Uber to you, like, so you can go home. And I was like, I'm not gonna leave my fucking car here. Like, and then I gotta come and pay for an Uber and come and get it in the morning. I'm not doing that shit. And he was like, okay, well, like I'll come get you then. And I was like, even if you come get me, I'm not leaving my car here. And he was like, okay, well, I'll drive your fucking car home then. Like, I'll drive it to your house. And I was like, you ain't gonna fucking show up here and drive my car to my house. And so he showed up, right? And like, and he ended up meeting like two of the people that I was with that night. I was with a group of people, and he ended up meeting two of them. And they're still like two like very, very fun, like cool people that I still like really, really like. And I haven't talked to them in forever, but whatever. Anyways, he ended up meeting them. And that to me was like a kind of a big deal, because I was like, he has not met anybody like in my family other than like my friends, you know, like he's never met anybody in my family or like my Samoan side, basically. He has not been around my Samoan side ever in life, even when we were regular ass friends. So that kind of was like, ooh. Even like she's not my aunt, she's my, I can't say who she is. She's related to somebody in my family. She even asked him, because like she looked at both of us when he showed it, because I told him he needed to get out of the car, because the Samoan people, you know, like they want to know who the fuck is picking you up, and they want to know like, and I told him it was a guy. They're like, it's a guy. Like,
oh my gosh, let me come outside and investigate.
So they did. They came outside and investigated.
How dare a male come pick you up to get you home safe?
I know. They were like, "What the fuck is this?" All right. But anyways, he took me home, right? That for some reason resonated with me a lot. The fact that he got out of his car and chose to meet them and like told me like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Like, it's fine. And he handled himself very well for two big ass Samoan people who definitely could have beat his ass, you know, like, so he handled himself very well in that. And that actually like made like, sorry, it turned me on, y'all. Like, it really did. Like, when you can handle yourself in front of people, like, especially that are bigger than you, especially poly people, like, granted, we're not like evil people, obviously. Like, we're not like mean people, like, right off the bat or anything. But I just personally, like, I really like it when, like, you can be comfortable and hold your own in a poly space, because we're very, like,
yeah, you just don't want no pussy.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want somebody to be like back down from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You get it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, because I had no way to go into that. But that turned me on a lot, because I was just like, that was really attractive, you know, like, and I want like a man who can do that, you know? So he takes me home, we're talking and everything. And now like he drove my car home, and we came up here and we just sat and we just talked. So I'm over there, he's over here. We're just away from each other at this point, right? There was a moment where
you sat right here in this exact spot
over there.
Cleanse the couch. I'm just kidding. No. I'm kidding.
Nothing happened, guys, I promise. But there was a moment where I was like looking at him and I was like, God, I want to fuck. Like, I just like wanted to, because I was like, you've never been in my house before. The fact that you're here and you offered to come get me, like, I don't know, like for me, I was just like, I know you just did that shit like as friends, like as a friend thing, but I was like,
yeah, a lot of stuff was added.
Lot of like those feelings that I had definitely came the fuck back. Like that shit came all the way back. But I did not say anything, you know, I didn't say shit. I was like, keep that shit to your fucking self. You know, he got a girl, leave it alone. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Fast forward to, remember my friend who had the debut and like that's our mutual friend. Fast forward to her birthday now. I see him there. And apparently drunk me told him that I owe him a lunch or a dinner or whatever for picking me up from the bar. Kind of don't remember that. But apparently that's what I said. And I see him at this birthday. And again, like he just looks good. Like I don't know how else to say. He just looks fucking good, guys. Okay. Anyways, later, like I'm at the birthday for like 2-3 hours, right? It's like nighttime now. And like a bunch of like other people that he knows came. They were my friends. but he knows them as well. Mm-hmm. So we're all around the table and we're all talking, and the birthday girl's like throwing up in a corner. And so like one of my friends asked him for like an update on his life. And he was like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I'm still with like blah, blah, blah. And like, again, he still has a fucking girlfriend, y'all. So yeah, like he was like, I'm still with blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, he's like, I actually like bought a ring. And all my friends are just like, oh my God, like so cute. Oh my God, you're going to propose? Like blah, blah, blah. Like they're all like in like a really like good mood. Mm-hmm. Like they're just like, oh my God, congratulations. Like good job. I'm literally sitting there like
throwing up in the corner with the birthday girl.
I'm just like, but yeah, like I'm just like sitting at the table listening to this, and thank God he didn't look at me. But like I literally was just sitting there like I couldn't even fake it. Like I could not fake what I felt, and I didn't say shit to him, you know, about any of this at this point. You know, fast forward again a few months, or like a month. Now me and him are hanging out. Go back to your story, Joy. Okay. So we end up hanging out, like, because I said I owed him lunch or dinner or whatever. We end up hanging out later on the next month. And then, again, everything's normal. Everything's fine. And then we start talking about the manosphere. Like, I don't know if you know what that is. So it's, you know who Andrew Tate is?
Oh, yeah. Wait, when you were telling us about the situation, you said that.
And then, I don't know, we just started talking about sex. Like not with each other, but we talked about sex outside of each other, like just other people we've had sex with. Like just, again, when I tell you guys, we have like the kind of friendship that I have with him is very, very open and honest and comfortable. That is the kind of friendship that I mean. Like we will talk about everything. I have this kind of friendship with one other person. Thank you.
I did point out. I did point out after I heard about this story.
I was like, thank you for pointing that out. Funny enough, I actually texted him that night and I was just like, I appreciate you so much. Like you are like my purest friendship. And Dora pointed that out to me. Like
pure bestie vibes right there.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I really appreciate friendships like this, and because I only have fucking two, like, and he was one of them. So I started like really like just thinking about like everything in the grand scheme of things. I was like, you know what, Rosey, if you don't say something to this kid, like at least about how you feel, and just be like 100% honest, like just get it out of the way, like you're probably going to always have a dark little rain cloud around you every time you see this kid.
Yeah.
Especially if he actually goes off and gets married and he does not know anything about how you feel. So I was just like, regardless, I knew he was going to get married to this girl. I knew he was never going to leave her. I knew all of this shit. Before I said all of this to him, before I said what I'm about to say to y'all, I knew he was never going to leave her. I knew what it was. I knew I never had a chance with him. I accepted those terms and conditions. And so on our way back home, he's driving me home now. And I tell him, I was like, listen, I need to make a confession to you. And he was just like, okay. Yeah, I know. He's like, okay, are you a serial killer? Like,
I've murdered 3 people.
Imagine I hit him with that shit. Like, I actually am Jeffrey Dahmer reincarnated. Did you know that Jeffrey Dahmer died like 3 years before my birthday? Like before I was born?
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the day.
Oh, on the day of your birthday.
Yeah, 3 years before I was born.
Oh, that's why you're saying reincarnated.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It just took him 3 years to get into my body. Yeah. Because he was debating if he wanted to be a woman or not.
All right, don't say that. He's a serial killer.
Sorry. I know. I'm sorry.
Let's not glamorize serial killers.
Very true. I am so sorry to
the victims.
To the victims. Anybody who's listening. That was a very sad story. Anyways. I told him I needed to make a confession, and I was just like, I have always felt like I missed a chance with you. I was like, I feel like there was a time period where I would have liked to have explored a relationship with you, whether it was intimate or like, you know, just purely sexual. There was a time period that I feel was open for me to do it, and I feel like I missed it. And I've always wondered what it would be like. And I kind of like just feel like I missed that chance. And that's how I've always felt. So I told him that. He hits me with, well, since we're making confessions, like I felt the same way. And I was like, oh shit, that's not what I expected. I expected a thank you for being vulnerable with me and telling me this shit. Like, you know, like I know
I have a girlfriend.
Like
and I'm faithful and I don't cheat. Yep. That's what you want them to say, and you want your boyfriend to say to somebody.
I expected him to say that shit. He did not say that. He told me he thought the same exact way as me. He told me that he felt the same way as me. And he also felt like would have liked to explore a relationship with me in whatever capacity. And then he told me that he always felt like there was something more than just friendship between me and him. Like if we really pushed past like our friendship, we probably could have had a good relationship or whatever it would have been, you know? So he told me that. He told me, I didn't prompt that shit. He told me that he always felt like there was definitely something more there. And he was like, obviously we're both attracted to each other. And I was like, yeah, clearly. And he was like, but I've always felt like there's something deeper than just friendship. And I was like, same. And so then he hit me with, he was like, well, since we're making more confessions, like the night that I picked you up from the bar, like I wanted to fuck. And I was like, I wanted to fuck. Like, and then it just got into a whole fucking thing. Like it got into a whole thing of us basically talking about all the different times that we actually thought about fucking each other. We thought about fucking each other the same time at my friend's birthday when she was throwing up in the fucking corner. And we thought about fucking each other when he picked me up from the bar. And we thought about fucking each other when I invited him to that function when he gave me that gift. We had that conversation and that talk, but we both established that night, at least I feel like we established that night, we both feel exactly the same way towards each other, but it's not going to go anywhere. And I was like, but if the timing was right, if everything worked out in like a universe somewhere, that would be the time. That would be the only time that we would actually have that chance to be together. Just some other universe, you know? Yeah. But yeah, so there was that. And I let it go. And I was just like, you know, I got it off my chest. Like, I feel good. It is what it is, whatever. We go back to just being regular friends for like a week. And I don't know what the fuck happened.
So you think that's why. So you think you're just friends at this point, but you're not. You're not friends anymore.
I don't know what happened at all. But like we were talking one day and then all of a sudden talking turned into a lot more than talking. Like it was a lot more than talking. And again, I know what I was doing. I know it was wrong. I know all of it, you know, like I know I fucked up and I know this puts me in a really, really bad light. I know. And I deserve it. I deserve it. I really do. But at the time, and I've explained this to you guys and I explained this to like some of my other close friends. At the time, I did not care. I did not care how I looked. I did not care how I, like, if I felt guilty or not. I didn't care about any of that. All I knew is what I wanted. And he was what I wanted at the time. So I threw everything out the window. I threw like dignity, like fucking self-respect, respect in general. Like I threw all of it out the window because I just wanted him. And I didn't just want him in the capacity of, I want to have sex with you. I wanted him in the capacity of, I want a relationship with you. Like the fact that you sat there and told me that you had feelings for me, or you always thought that we would have something together. The fact that you told me the way that I feel is pretty much exactly the same way you feel. That to me is like big. That's like really big to me. Because I felt this way for a very long time. Did the feelings go away and come back and go away and come back? Yes, of course. But that's because I didn't fucking see you forever. But after all this time, especially having this happen twice, like in 2016 and now, like having this happen 6 years apart, basically, to me, I was like, that's not a fucking coincidence. Like, granted, I started it, but whatever. Like, I didn't expect it to go where it went. Okay. Anyways, we just did that. We literally did that for like a good like month and a half. We just did a lot more than talking for a month and a half. We never had sex. We never fucked. None of that. We didn't kiss. We didn't do shit. Like, but we just did more than talking for like a month and a half. And mind you, he still had the ring, still has a girlfriend. And I knew that I was putting myself in side bitch mode, like major side bitch mode. And I was fine with it because again, I threw out everything. I threw out all my self-respect. I threw out everything. And all of this was terrible of me. Okay. I plan on blocking him. Okay. I really do. I'm probably going to do it like next week, but actually when this episode drops, that's when I'm gonna block it. Cause I don't need this. I need to reevaluate my life, my choices, all the shit, because everything that I did during this time period with this boy, I really need to like just sit in a corner by myself and just be alone.
Because you didn't see me for those 3 months.
That is also true. I made terrible decisions without Dora around, and this is what the fuck I get, like being in this situation. But anyways, we just continued doing that shit for like a month and a half, all the way up until my birthday. I see him show up to my birthday, and I end up talking to him all fucking night. All night long, I'm talking to him. As soon as he shows up, I am talking to him and only him. Everybody fucking sees me talking to him too. And everybody is fucking aware of what's going on in the situation because what did I say? Did I put it in my close friends list? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. I think I just told you guys individually.
Oh, I think you texted me individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just told everybody individually what was going on. I told you, and I think I told Moy. Shout out Moy. And then
well, she was pointing it out to everybody. That's the one. And I'm like, what one? It's just a random guy in a beanie. Yeah. Like, okay. It's another one of his friends that I don't know. Because you have a bunch of friends. But yeah.
No, yeah. And then, no, Moy knew. She was like, that's the one. No, that's the one. But yeah, like I'm literally talking to him all night. I'm fucking hitting on him. I'm making passes at him. I'm telling you guys, I did not give a shit about anybody else. I only cared about what I wanted at the time. And then there was a moment where he looked at me and he was just like, do you feel like you're getting hurt in all this? And I was like,
mood has went away.
I was like, no. And he was like, okay, like I just wanted to make sure. And I was just like, I'm not dumb, you know, like I know you're not going to leave her. I know you're not going to like, I know this is never going to happen. I'm aware of what's going on. I just want what I want. Fast forward to the end of the night. But basically everybody fucking knows now at this point who, like everyone literally sees me talking to this kid for the whole entire night. They all fucking know. He was actually supposed to leave like 45 minutes into him being there. I asked him to stay until the end of the night to like walk me to my car. I was like, well, you didn't bring me a gift this year. So if you're not going to stay, you might as well like, I was like, if you're like not going to bring me a gift, then you might as well like just walk me to my car at the end of the night. And then he was just like, all right, like I'll stay. My friend looked at me again, everybody's going home now. The club shut down. My friend looks at me and she was like, sis, are you doing anything after this? And I was like, no. I was like, I think I'm just going home. Why? She was like, can you take me home? And I was like, bitch, why? Because he's walking me to my car. So I'm like, obviously if he's walking me to my car, obviously I'm going to do whatever it takes to get him into my car and you know, all that. But I can't do that anymore because my friend went and asked me for a ride and she's drunk. So obviously I'm not going to say fucking no.
Love you, girl.
Love you. I love you so much.
This is why I caught a ride with somebody else. Yeah. Just so y'all know. This is why I found a ride. So she should have too. Love you though. Love you so much. I will always love you. But anyways, that night I was just, obviously I'm not going to say no to her. Like she's drunk. I would have been like, I'll call y'all ass an Uber.
No, she's drunk. I was like, yeah, sis, it's fine. But I was so irritated with her that night because I was just like, I literally have him. He's here. I could have got him if you did not ask me right now for this ride. But anyways, we go to my car. I say goodbye. And I was like, you know what? I'm not getting any dick tonight from anybody. So now I'm irritated. So I literally was just like, well, I'm going to end this like at least on a good note. And when I went to hug him goodbye, like I ended up kissing him on the neck, and then he left. Something happened and then we let it go, and then we didn't talk the next day. And I kind of got sad about that because I was just like, why would you not text me? Like, I didn't tell anybody that, by the way. I didn't say anything about being sad about that, but I just kind of knew. I really sat there and I reflected on what he asked me, which was do you feel like you're getting hurt by this? And that's when I internalized what it actually meant for me. And I was just like, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to cry about this because that's fucked up.
And this was all hashed out on your actual birthday.
Yeah. Literally all the girls came over and I told them everything that I have told y'all. I told them on my actual
the part
birthday.
How one of the friends blocked you.
Yeah. Besides the part where my fucking girl that was here that night cock blocked the shit out of me. It's
a blessing in disguise.
It is. It's a very big blessing in disguise is what it is. And so I'm thankful for now looking at it, I'm thankful for the fact that she did that.
Maybe she knew because you know her.
That is true.
Something was telling her to get booked up and need a ride from you on your birthday.
And guess what the fuck she did?
Oh gosh.
Shit, but I still love you, girl. So anyways, I go ahead and I let it go, and then he says happy birthday to me the next day. I'm still in my feelings. I'm just like whatever about it, you know. I end up telling him everything, like about like 3 or 4 days after my birthday, and I was just like, hey, like I know what you meant by this, like I don't like, you know, that I can't have you. Basically, that's what I said to him. I was like, I don't like that I can't have you. I know going into this, I knew this was never going to happen, but I just don't like that I can't have what I want. And what will always be a missed opportunity is something that I'll always think about. And I don't like that. And then he told me basically like, you know, he knew that in the end, he was always going to end up hurting me in whatever capacity, whether or not he was like, whether like we did something physical together and, you know, you ended up catching feelings or wanting more, or one of us wanted more. I knew it was going to hurt. Like, and then he tried to like just go back to being regular friends with me. And I like knew I couldn't fucking do it. And so
you can't.
No, yeah, you can't do it, y'all. Like I realized that really you can't fucking do it. And then there was a night where I literally was just going through it mentally, like especially about him. And I was just like, I can't do this, you know, like it's hard to have a conversation with you, like just a normal fucking conversation. I can't do this. And so I texted him and I was just like, hey, I really need to talk to you. Like I need to get this off my chest. So he comes over to my house and we start talking, and he was like, what do you need to talk about? And I was like, ew, why are you giving me attitude? The fuck? Like, so I told him everything. I was like, it's really hard for me to have a normal conversation with you without thinking about fucking you or like us, basically. And I don't know. We get into this entire conversation. He starts lecturing me about why he didn't want to fuck me, or like why he didn't want to like do anything physical with me. He did want to fuck me. I'm so sorry. But why he didn't do anything physical with me, why he never followed through with doing anything physical with me. He goes into this whole entire conversation with me, and I start feeling like I'm being lectured and I don't like it. So then I was just like, I don't think you understand. Like, this is kind of like hard for me. Like, I feel like you're telling me, and he started telling me like, this is not that deep, you know, like this is not that deep for you to get over. Like, I know you're going to get over this. And I was like, clearly you don't know me. Like, cause y'all know me, you know how long it takes me to get over a dude. Especially one that I really like. And so I was like, one, you don't know me that well, clearly, because it takes me forever to get over a guy. And two, I feel like you're only telling me like it's easy. Like you feel like this is going to be easy for me to get over because you don't have feelings
as intense as you do.
Yeah. You don't have feelings as intensely as I do. Like I really fucking like you. And I know like you don't. And then he was just like, that's not true. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And then he was just like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't care about you. Like I wouldn't be here if I didn't feel some type of way about you or want to make sure that you were okay. And I was just like, no, dude, like you're talking about like caring in terms of like friendship type caring. I'm talking about like feelings, like emotional, intense attachment feelings. And he was like, we're talking about the same exact thing. And I was just like,
is that like a little red pill coming out of you?
Yeah.
Is that a little Andrew Tate philosophy coming out of your mouth?
But yeah, he was just like, and then he goes and tells me like, he was like, I know like I've told you before, like, you know, I always felt like there was more than just friendship here. I've always felt that. And he was like, no matter what, like, if we ever did try anything in the past, like, he's like, whether it was long term or short term, he's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I really think we would have like been pretty solid together. And I was like, that's a really shitty thing to say to me, because I agree. I was like, I honestly think that if you and I got together in the past, we would still be together now. And I know how dumb that sounds. I know how dumb that sounds. Okay. I'm aware. I'm very aware. Okay. He was basically just like, well, I have something that'll like fast track, you know, like maybe you getting over this. And I was just like, what? And he was like, I do plan on like actually proposing to my girlfriend this month. I don't know if he did it or not already. I muted the shit out of him. I just like didn't want to see it. After this conversation, I was just like, I need to be done. And so when he told me that, I was just like, this is so fucked up. And then he went and asked me, like, is your behavior like gonna change at all? Like, is your like, or your outlook or anything gonna change at all? And well, yeah, like if you put a ring on it, like it's time to like pack that shit up. And then when you actually get married, like it's time to move away. And then he brought up Canada, and he was like, please don't tell me the reason why you want to move to Canada is because of me. And I was just like, okay, bitch, not everything is because of you. Like, don't think so highly of yourself. Okay.
They have free healthcare, buddy.
Yeah. They have free healthcare. Their fucking metro system or transit system is apparently way easier and better than ours. Okay. And they have poutine.
And they're nice.
Eh? And so I was just like, not everything's about you, dude. Okay. And he was like, no, I'm fucking serious. Like, don't tell me, like, even if I'm a part of the reason. And I was like, why? Like, for what? And then he was just like, because you know how shitty that is to know that I hurt you that bad to the point where you felt like you had to move away. And in my head, I was like, do you know how shitty it is to know that you have feelings for me and I have feelings for you, but you're going to go and marry another bitch? Because that hurts. Now, granted, and I was like, you can't even tell me that she came first because I've known him longer. Now, granted, she came first in the sense of relationships, but I've just been there forever. Okay. Anyways, that right there, like, really indicated to me how much I don't need this, you know? Mm-hmm. So basically, that's where this long, drawn out story goes. All right. I muted the shit out of his story and posts and notes and all of it. I did not want to see it because I knew the day was coming for him to propose. It's coming soon, and I know it is.
Fucking unfriend him, block him. I don't even know why you just mute him.
I muted him for right now because remember my toxic trait that I told you about earlier? I have this problem, this little toxic trait where I'm so petty to the point where I want you to think we're good, you know? And I do this with a lot of dudes. I want you to think we're fucking good. Like we're solid and everything is okay. And then out of the blue, you're blocked. And I'm never going to talk to you again. And I never see you again. It's unfortunate that we still have a mutual friend, but it is what it is. I'm sorry. I can't do this, you know?
Yeah.
So
when you don't need to apologize.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sorry. But when this episode drops, just know he will be blocked and he will not have any contact with me. We have not talked since the night that we discussed this, since I basically realized, like, you know, that's a very traumatic thing to go through, you know, like, yeah, like a dude is telling you he has feelings for you, basically validating all the feelings you have for him, reciprocating them to you, but then telling you he's still going to go and marry another girl.
Yeah.
Like that to me is a very traumatic thing to deal with. But anyways,
talk about trauma,
bitch. Like, but anyways, that's where shit basically got left off. That night in the car, when I left his car, I still left with the feeling of wanting to fuck him. And that's so disappointing, you know, like I really hate myself sometimes. Like when I look back at how I interacted with him, I just really hate myself sometimes.
But I mean, I think it's just like, just to justify it, like you guys didn't date, but it's like that feeling of like your first love or your first big crush, like somebody that, like, I feel like I had that in high school too, like somebody that you found so attractive and like you guys, like, oh, you guys got along on this and you guys got along on this and you have this in common. And so then like you build that friendship and then you think you let yourself think like, wow, if we were in a relationship, this would be perfect. Everything would be perfect. And you're telling yourself like, oh my gosh, this would happen and like this would happen and this would happen. But like you don't know because you guys never dated. So you're telling yourself, this is good. This is good. We're just friends though. And you keep telling yourself like, oh, we're just friends and stuff. But I think, and your personality is different from mine because I'm like, if I let myself get to that point, but I know it won't go any further than that, I'm like, cut that shit off right away because I need it out of my life. So I feel like that's what you need to work on. Not that I'm a therapist or anything, but just to help you out. But like, even like you told us like, oh, I don't have any friends that I can have this conversation with. Like you do, you have one other friend, and then just find other friends that you can have that conversation with. Like, cause you don't need that person, that one person in your life or something. And just like the fucking questions he asked you on your birthday and like the shit he says, like he's a fucking liar. That's why, because he knows he's fucking cheating and he's not going to leave his girlfriend. So he's trying to justify his actions by asking you those. And not that you were in the right either because you know his situation, but he fucking knew what the fuck he was doing. So he's basically telling himself like, well, if I'm up front and ask her these questions, then like maybe I'll feel better about myself too. Yeah. And I feel like that's what he was doing. Like, he didn't care about you because if he did, he wouldn't have let that stuff happen or even confessed of his feelings, in my opinion, because I love you and I want the best for you.
Thank you, sis. I ain't never seen Dora do that.
I'm just like you're fucking lying. Like, why would you lie like that? You know?
No,
like,
yeah,
whatever.
And like this is all shit that I realized because even Lucia brought up a very, very good point. What Lucia said that same night, it's very similar to what you just said. But what Lucia said the night of my birthday, that shit hit me, and that shit twisted in my fucking like chest. And she was like, I told all the girls, I was like, I know he cares about me, like as a friend, like as a human, like I know he cares about me. And she said, no, he don't. And I was just like, bitch, what? And Lucia was like, bitch, if he cared about you, he would have never let you treat yourself like a side bitch. And I was like, God, like
if he cared about you, he would break up with his girlfriend that he doesn't get along with. They have nothing in common. So like what's the reason for staying?
I need to go ahead and just reevaluate my own self and just really just get it together and just go back to being the person who actually did respect people's relationships because, well, in all complete honesty, I've never disrespected anybody else's relationship besides his, in my own opinion, but still whatever.
You weren't in the relationship, so he disrespected his own relationship.
Yeah. I also kind of feel like I disrespected his relationship as well because he disrespected his, like, you know, like I know. The green light shit. Yeah. But again, I don't know his girl. Like, I don't know what their relationship is. I don't care anymore. Like, I hope they are happy. And funny enough, to wrap this whole entire fucking segment up, I'm so sorry it was almost 2 hours long. I'm sorry to you that it was almost 2 hours long. But
people want to know the details.
So I did warn you guys in the beginning, this was going to be a long story. But to wrap this whole entire segment up, to take all of my feelings and everything that I learned from this particular situation, this is what the short film is going to be about. This whole entire feeling and like everything that I did with him, not everything I did with him, but just the short film that I'm writing is based off of Cactus. And I feel like through writing out the script, I did a lot of healing because I cried so much trying to get it all out there and just trying to like emulate like everything that I've talked about with like, you know, Dora and like my other friends, Lucia, Kai, Mo, like all of them. Everything that I talked about with them, everything I talked about with the friend that I mutually have with Cactus. And then all of my internal monologues that I've had with myself. Like I encapsulated every perspective that I could, combined it all into one and just made a very big rough draft of the script. And once I was done with that rough draft, I can honestly say I felt a lot better. Like I felt good. And I felt like, all right, this is a first step and this is where we need to move. Like now we just need to move the fuck on from him as a person. Yeah. Like, and move on from this friendship because it has not benefited me. It's definitely made me a worse person. So I just need to cut the fat and just go. So yeah. I apologize to all of you for how long this took. I also apologize if you see me in a very different way. I am doing better. I'm trying to be better, basically. Yeah. I'm trying to be a better person.
We're healing in 2023.
No, for real, we fucking are, because I don't need this shit.
Healing, thriving, living, laughing, and loving.
Okay, bitch.
Just to bring it all back.
Just to bring it all in together. But with all of that being said, next week's dumpster fire story is definitely going to be a lot shorter. Next week's dumpster fire, or sorry, not next week. 2 weeks from now, beginning of February, that dumpster fire story is going to be about the sugar daddy who bought these lights. That's a lot funner of a story, okay? That's a lot more lighthearted than what the fuck this shit was. This was just ugly. It's what this was. So with that being said, we're going to go to our next music break. Again, I'm so sorry it was almost 2 hours long, but we're going to be listening to Thank You by Craig. Thank you all for listening. And then we're going to go into Zero In with the Voice of Reason.
Where would I be without my family and some sleep? Lately, life been getting hard. It's going to be hard for me to speak. I know I'm going to be okay, cause gotta get me on my feet. For all the times I pray for you, man, I just hope you pray for me. I wish heaven had visited. I jump off a plane, talking on my chest for you. Hey, let that shit ride.
And we are back with Zero In with the Voice of Reason. But that, what you just heard right now, was Thank You by Craig off of his Forever Him album that he dropped right before the new year. Congratulations to you for dropping 3 projects in the year of 2022, and congratulations on your Rolling Loud. If you have not seen the Craig episode, go ahead and check it out. It's our most viewed episode. I think you'll like it. But anyways, you have been listening to the motherfucking Mile High Club over here. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at official Mile High Club, and don't forget to follow us. I'm not going to link our Instagrams or say it out loud, but you know, they're in our description on Instagram when you go and follow us. So with that being said, we're going to jump into our Zero In segment.
Welcome back, everybody. So today for Zero In, we are talking about gratitude. And basically, I want to talk about this zero in on this topic specifically because we talked a lot last segment, and then specifically last episode, I talked about goals and like the future. So kind of just like recapping the stuff that we do have in our lives and like kind of giving gratitude to what's in our current lives, and maybe even like thinking forward and thankful of what we hope to come in the future, basically. Yes. So the first one, I guess, would just be like, how do you show gratitude?
Honestly, I just show gratitude a lot by like, I really just say thank you a lot. I say thank you to everybody. I make sure to say thank you and look you in your eye and really tell you like, thank you. I really appreciated this, like more than you know. Like that's definitely like just that acknowledgement. Like I will always give that to you, because I never want to be that bitch who's just like, that bitch didn't even fucking say thank you. You know, like I always say thank you very much. I appreciated that. Or like if it's like even at like a restaurant or something, I'll always just be like, thank you very much. Like you were great as a server, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, like I do a lot of that.
I love that for you. Why did you sound like an Asian old lady?
I don't know. It just came out. But I don't know. I say thank you like that to people at restaurants. It's so fucking weird. But yeah, like I just make sure to always say thank you to whoever, you know. If I'm really grateful for you to be in my life, I will definitely consistently and always try to make an effort to hang out with you. And even if I don't get it, like to be the consistent part, because sometimes I do fall off, I will always like just like try to reach out and try to keep in contact with you and just like maintain a good friendship with you, and actually like a good level friendship with you. So I just try my best to maintain who I'm grateful, like just maintaining basically relationships with people is how I show how grateful I am to you for being in my life.
Yeah, I think you're good at that.
Yeah, I'll try to be. If you ever went to my birthday, you know, I'm okay. I'm pretty good with people. What about you?
How I show gratitude specifically, I think I try to say prayers a lot and kind of just like touch on or thinking about the things that sorry. I try to say prayers a lot, and so basically I will just talk about or discuss things with the man up above, basically about the things that come in my life and stuff like that. Obviously, you know happens in prayer. And if you don't, you should really start praying.
Yeah, because your soul needs to be saved.
Yeah. We all need to be saved. So come on, say your prayers.
I can't even talk. All the bullshit I can't talk.
We all need to be saved, basically, and say your prayers. Show what you're grateful for and stuff like that, and show your gratitude to the universe, the man up above, whatever you believe in. And then how else do I show gratitude? Like you said, Rosey, basically like being kind to everybody that you experience, and like specifically service workers, all of the above. Just a kind human being to anybody you encounter with, because nobody likes a mean person, basically.
Yeah, little meanies.
Yeah. I wish I was a gratitude journal girly, and I've said this 3 times now, but basically I wish I had a gratitude journal, but maybe I could find like a gratitude template or something for my iPad, since I do use it for the Mile High Club. I gotta use it more. Let's see what else, how I show gratitude. Oh, this is what I talked about. I show gratitude by like giving gifts and like stuff that makes me think of people throughout the day, like showing gratitude to the people in my life, picking out like useful specific gifts, or like if something made me think of them, like maybe buying it if it's cheap or something, or like if something like a meme or something made me think of them, and then send it their way, because I feel like everybody wants to be acknowledged and loved, so that helps people. But
that's really good. That shows how much you like really appreciate somebody, because like the amount of effort it takes to pick out the gift is a lot harder than people give it credit for. You know what I mean? Like, because then I gotta make sure that you gonna like this bitch, and you ain't gonna like be like an avocado.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know, like I've gotten memes of people, like TikToks, you know, like from people like, oh, I thought of you when I saw this, and then it's like bitches with daddy issues and shit. But like.
The funny ones are good, but like usually it's like something small that like me and my cousin would talk about, and then like I'll get it for her or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's super.
Or like
nice.
for our birthdays, like they give me usually like baskets, and they're like, oh, I know you love this, and then it's just like a collection of stuff I like. Those are like the best.
That is so cute.
Yeah, we love like shopping and shit, so we just know exactly what to get each other. And then the second question I had was basically, what specific things are you grateful for? Or like you want to be grateful for maybe in the new coming year.
Girl, what am I not grateful for this fucking year? I'm grateful for, on some real shit, like to be completely real, I'm very grateful for the support system that I have. Like, I know that segment was long as shit. I know it was. But the fact that I had all the sisses in my house on the day of my birthday, and all we did was just talk about it, you know, like, and you guys let me talk about it and let me go through my emotions with you guys. And you guys didn't sit there and judge me for it. You know, you just let me tell you what I was feeling and go through all that. I feel like friendships like that, especially girl friendships like that, those I'm always going to be grateful for them. You know what I mean? Like I'll always love them. And those are the friendship that I'll always cherish the most, especially because I just know, like, if I had other friends, like if I told other friends this, like they granted like probably would judge the shit out of me and then like see me differently, like a lot of y'all probably do, and then just like stop being friends with me. But the fact that like you guys like really gave me a chance, you know, like, and you guys know me at my core too, you know, like, you know that I am not like an awful person. Like I just make stupid, terrible decisions sometimes, you know, but the fact that all of you guys still like think that I deserve way better than what I chose to give myself in that moment really showed me a lot. And it showed how much like I needed that support and that validation from you guys. Yeah. So I'm very thankful for my sisters, my chosen sisters. I'm very thankful for my other sisters.
They live upstairs.
They live upstairs. I don't mean my bad, but I am thankful for my sister who lives upstairs and my sister who lives all the way with her boyfriend somewhere. I'm thankful for my family, period. You know, basically I do fight with them a lot. But I am very thankful for them because they're the only people that I could fight with for like an hour and then just be like, yeah, I want to go eat and I want to go see a movie. So let's go, you know, like as all families should be. I'm very thankful for the opportunities from this year, you know, and I'm very thankful. I have to say, on some real shit, I'm very thankful for the last time I got like my heart broken, which was Cactus. And I know that sounds dumb, like, oh, bitch, you got your heart broken, you stupid whore, you know, like I get it, but I feel like I'm very thankful for that, because if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, you know, and I wouldn't have had that be the last straw of I'm not putting myself through this shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like I am going to take myself seriously, and I'm going to give myself the chance and opportunities that I deserve. And I need to stop treating myself like a fucking option. I need to just be the one choice. So that's what I'm doing this year. And it's been working out great so far. And I have to say, like, I mean, I'm thankful for Mile High, like, you know, like even with everything that we've been going through and, you know, coming back to the new season, I realize like I have not had this much fun doing something, meeting this many people, being in like certain positions to be able to go to certain events and do certain shit. I have not had this much fucking fun in a very, very long time. Ever. I have not had this much fun ever. Because I never knew anybody in the poly world before I met all of you guys in college. And then and even then I still didn't really know anybody in the poly world until we started doing this.
Yeah.
And we started getting a lot more connected to people in the poly world. So again, like this is definitely a platform that I am very grateful for. And I will always cherish this and everything that it comes with. And I'm also very thankful to Island Block and Joe Sav. This is a whole thing. Listen, I feel like I'm giving like an acceptance speech right now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm very thankful to Joe Sav, Island Block, like, as a whole, like for like giving me opportunities, you know, to like hone in on my craft of wanting to interview people and like really do better at it and be better at it. And I'm thankful to the motherfuckers who gave us a platform to have the Mile High Club on, even though that didn't work out so well, but whatever, it's fine. But it taught me a lot about business, and it taught me a lot about how to do this correctly. You know what I mean? I just be on the mic correctly, you know?
Yeah.
So I have to be like, you know, I'll thank y'all for that, but that's as far as that goes. And I'm thankful for...
She's like, let me pull out my scroll list. And I'm like, wrap it up, girl, because you had a whole fucking segment.
I'm just real thankful for bitches, okay? I'm real fucking thankful. What about you, sis? What you thankful for?
Sis. You could keep going. It was a joke.
No, girl, you absolutely right. I talked for 2 fucking hours. I need to shut the fuck up. That's something I also am thankful for. I need friends who are going to tell me that I need to shut the fuck up, basically.
I'm grateful for my family first. If you know me, I always talk about my family. I'm always with my family. I'm always thinking about my family, always doing stuff for my family, all of the above. And then I have specific relationships with each individual, my intermediate family and my large family. So I feel like I'm super grateful for that relationship and like support system that I have come to realize not a lot of people have. And then I'm grateful for my friends that have become my family and the stuff that I've learned through them and how they've gotten me out of my comfort zone. What if you like didn't make the cut in the video?
You just see my glasses.
It's like barely any little slipper.
You see a big ass thumb.
I know. But yeah, I'm grateful for all my friends that are like my family, and just like getting me out of my comfort zone and like, you know, becoming a woman and myself basically. And then I'm grateful for this platform specifically. I feel like this has brought me out of my comfort zone and like we've met a lot of new people and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then specifically like basically what we do on this platform is allow poly people and poly creatives tell their story specifically in a fun way and informative. And I feel like they can tell their story to people. Everybody's their own individual person. So I feel like we allow people to tell their story, just them as a creative person, which I like. That's why we started this. That's why this flow works. But other than that, let us know what you're grateful for or how you show gratitude in the comments, because we do want to become more interactive. It's gonna take some work, guys, but be interactive in the comments or like message us, or maybe we'll do a poll on IG. I don't know, or you know, one of those like question comment boxes. And with that being said, this wraps up season 3, episode 2, and we will recap Rosey's segment with Flame Out.
Oof. Dumpster fire of a story of cactus and all that shit. Replay it because it was 2 hours long, y'all.
Y'all just need to rewind.
Yeah, just rewind, throw the subtitles on, and just go do something with your life and just listen. So you're good. But after that, we jumped into Zero In with Dora.
And then for my segment, Zero In, again, we talked about gratitude, which just happened. There's only 2 segments now, so there ain't much to recap real quick. But recap, anyways. And that was, like I already stated, season 3, episode 2. Thank y'all for tuning in, staying tapped in with us. We really appreciate it. Make sure to follow our IG. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Make sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the above, etc., etc. TikTok, I think we're on TikTok. We haven't been uploaded on TikTok too much, but I mean, we could use a follow.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Run those numbers up, like people say. Give us a thumbs up here on this video, because there's been a struggle to get to the end of this episode.
Oh, it has. Oh my god.
Anyways, y'all don't care. But anyways, with that being said, we have arrived at our destination. See y'all next episode.
You have now arrived at your destination. Thank you for choosing Flight 5280 with
The Mile High Club.